me now is Einar Tangen. He's an economics and current affairs commentator. Einar, let's unpack some of the things I just mentioned. Analysts saying that supply disruptions will likely ease with these moves. They could also ease inflationary pressure and really kind of impact the global economy. It might even reduce the pressure on some countries to hike interest rates. Do you think that that's what we're going to be seeing as a result of this?
Well, a lot depends. I mean, there's a lot of geopolitical pressures out there. Every day you seem to hear about some sort of negative economic policy towards China, mostly in the high-tech area, but still, things like Taiwan, et cetera. But definitely, if you talk to the experts, Mike, they're expecting China to supply 3/4 of the world's growth. That's up from half during this last 3-year pandemic period. So China's going to figure very highly. That's why you're seeing increased estimates for 2023 growth in China, even though outside China it's not as rosy.
Yeah, we know there's a lot of pent-up demand there domestically. A lot of families separated in recent years because of the COVID restrictions. You've got the Spring Festival coming up. We're seeing these flights coming into the mainland from Hong Kong, these family reunions, so much excitement about that. That's domestic travel, of course. What about international travel? We were talking about Dashing International preparing for things, full operations to start on Tuesday. Clearly, it's going to ramp up slowly, one would suspect, but what do you expect to see there?
Well, I really think that you're going to see a biggest bump after the first quarter. There, of course, will be a tremendous amount of pressure to travel during the Spring Festival holidays, Chinese New Year. But the difficulty is over the last 3 years, a lot of people have, their passports expired. They need to get new visas. The cost is prohibitive at the moment because airlines still have to lay on new routes and staff up themselves. So it's going to take a little bit of time to adjust. But just keep aware that tourism is 10% of world's GDP. China was 20% of that, 1/5. And that's really necessary. But you might start to see changes in the way that Chinese travel, especially given the kind of negative press that they get in certain areas, also these restrictions. This might lead to long-term trends. I expect a lot of tourism activity in ASEAN and countries that are very favorable to China. And what's fueling this? I mean, Mike, this is the important part. China consumers have saved about $17 trillion. That's more than the Chinese annual GDP. And that savings was up over 5% over the first 9 months of 2022. So they have staying power. The question is confidence. How confident are they in terms of the economy? Because that's going to play a key role in this kind of economic multiplier that can not only help China, but also the world.
Einar, I've talked to some folks who do business in China. There's only so much you can do with these Zoom meetings. This personal interaction is so important. What about business travel? Do you think that's likely to ramp up quite a bit in 2023 as well?
Yeah, that's going to be the priority. Businesses are willing to spend in order to make money. China's a huge market. Now, remember, during this period, a lot of expats left China, but their companies did not. And there's going to be a huge fresh wave of people coming back. Some of them have prior China experience. Some of them will be new. But for certain, they will be looking to make meetings, to do business in what has become the world's largest stable market.